is Feven Getachew. My company is Afro Sheba Coffee. We import coffee from Ethiopia. Mainly, that's our majority of our coffees. We roast locally and we sell via online, Amazon, and through to restaurants, cafes, delis, wholesale.
Awesome. And could you give me a little bit of a background about how you got into this industry and making coffee and maybe a little bit of the history of Ethiopia and its coffee?
Sure. So for us, for Ethiopia, coffee is just like water. It's part of you. So for us, coffee is cultural. It is more like a community. You have our coffee ceremony is about an hour to 2 hours long, and you have this little cups that for your coffees, and our kettle is it's called jabana. It's like a ceramic pot. You roast the coffee in front of your guest, and then you go around, have them smell it, then grind, and then have coffee. So that is part of the culture. Coffee is part of the culture. The reason behind it is because legend has it around 750 to 800 AD, a goat herder named Khaldi discovered coffee. He saw his goats were after kind of eating these berries. They have way too much energy. They're just jumping around and all that stuff. So he took that berries and gave it to the local monk, and that's how coffee was discovered, like 800 AD.
Whoa.
And then from there, it went to Yemen. From Yemen, all around the world.
I have never heard this story, so thank you for sharing. That's amazing. I didn't know, like, it
So
came from
that's
Ethiopia.
yeah. So that's the origin of coffee.
And the rest is history. Now
The
the
rest
world
is
runs
history
on
now.
coffee, right?
Exactly.
Thank you, Ethiopia. And now tell me how you decided to start your coffee business.
So I've had a marketing company since right after undergrad, and then went to grad school. That was right before COVID. Like grad school ended in August, and then March everything was closed. So as I was thinking about what do I really want, what do you contribute to society, all these things that all you have all that time to think for yourself, and redirect your your life. So coffee is something I am a coffee lover since the age of like under 10, right? So that's something I love. I would love to more people to know about the origin of coffee, as opposed to just I love coffee, but do you know how coffee came to be, So that's part of it. Kind of goes this. It's doing something I love from my own country and history. So it's like everything kind of intertwined, and it just made sense.
I love that. You brought your coffee here today. If you want to show us and share a little bit about the flavors that they have.
This is from the region called Guji. Most of coffee from Ethiopia comes from the southern part of Ethiopia because it's high altitude coffee. So the reeds. So when you see Ethiopian Sidama, Guji, those are the name of the regions.
Okay.
So this Yirgachefe is the what's mostly known of Ethiopian coffee. Wherever coffee companies sell Ethiopian coffee, it's usually this that they sell. This is the well-known Ethiopian coffee. The second one is the Sidama coffee. It's around same region. Most people use this when they do coffee blends, because the flavor is really good and it kind of gives coffee good flavor. Guji is the lighter of all this. This I recommend to people that drink mostly tea and don't like coffee. This would be the best one. Even without sugar, you can drink it.
Wow. Okay.
So I've converted a few people from tea drinker to coffee drinker.
Perfect. Okay. And how did you come up with your name, Afro Sheba Coffee? Hopefully I pronounced that right.
Yes. So Afro Sheba is to go with Africa because, right here with our logo, Africa, that's where coffee is from. Sheba has two meanings. One is Queen Sheba, the Ethiopian Queen Sheba that traveled to King David and Israel, came back to Ethiopia and had the part of the true cross, it's believed. And the other one is Sheba is my sister's name.
Oh, perfect.
So kind of goes together. Exactly.
Okay, I love that. I love that you share so much of your like culture and history, everything on there. I think that's wonderful.
Absolutely. And for people, when people buy this coffee, they have on the back, we have written all the cultural meaning of coffee and how it's celebrated.
Love that. So a little educational
Exactly.
excerpt back there.
Great.
Yes.
Yes.
And for marketing, how are you getting the word out about your coffee and like these fun little facts about them? I think that would be so great on social media for you to share that with other people and just have a more intimate relationship with the coffee in that way.
Absolutely. So our company is only 2.5 years old. So the first year was spent with, the design, the name, the trademark. It took like the whole 7-8 months. We just wanted to be just right. So the pot I was telling you about is this one. So you have the meaning by here. This is how they make coffee, and this is the little cups.
Cup.
Yeah, and this is the size of it. It's like maybe 6 ounce because coffee is strong. It's really strong. So we wanted to get all the cultural aspect of coffee without overwhelming you with in your face kind of culture.
Yeah.
So it took us a while to come up with this design and then the trademark name and then getting the right roasting temperature, because when it's light, it's bitter and then you'll have aftertaste. When it's darker, when it's not supposed to do, then you'll have this muddy aftertaste.
Okay.
So getting the right temperature took us a little bit with experimenting, and we have a few Ethiopian restaurants that we were working with. So those were the people we first approached, because we know they'll give us grace. If it's not good, they'll be like, okay, this is bitter, cut it out, If it's muddy, it'll be like. So once we perfected that, that was the first year. The second year is marketing. We haven't done a lot of social media yet, but word of mouth kind of kept us busy, because we sell our raw coffee to roasters as well. So that part of the business has been busy. It's just like people will recommend us to their other roasters and that that kind of way. And we started Amazon just like November. So that kept us busy. So this year that I'm thinking, this is the plan to kind of full out, do social media. TikTok has been on our side. We have reps that we work with. So
Cool.
You'll see more of us.
Yeah, perfect. I love that you've got a plan in place.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next question is, what are your, I guess, personal goals, and where do you hope to be in the next 5 years as a person and with your coffee business?
As a coffee business, I wanted to have a bigger role, and the goal of introducing our culture to majority of people, just bring awareness. This is where coffee came from. This is the history, and you can't just, when you drink coffee, you have to think about this. It's kind of interconnected. We have had a few years ago a bigger coffee company wanted to. This was when we were kids. Wanted to trademark this name, Irgajafe, and there was an all-out, lawsuit with the government, because this is part of a city name, right? And you can't just come up and trademark it just because you're a big company. So this is also because a lack of awareness for more people. If people were aware, this is where coffee came from, this is the region, then nobody would come and be like, I'm gonna own that name. It's the people's.
Yes.
So it's just more of sharing our culture. Ethiopia is one of the oldest nations in the world. I've never been colonized. The oldest Christian nation, the oldest Bible, complete Bible, and it's just, there's so much history that I think it's my responsibility to share too, along with the coffee.
No, absolutely.
With good coffee.
Yes, putting some good, I guess, a good name on it. It is good coffee, and we want to represent all of that, right?
And there's so many unique things about the country itself. We have 13 months instead of 12.
Whoa.
I know, right? Instead of 31 days, all months are equal 30. And then the 5 days or 6 days every leap year is another month. So there's the country is called 13 months of sunshine.
Okay, I just learned so much today
That's
about
right.
coffee, about where it came from. I don't think I ever stopped to think where coffee comes from. I was just like Starbucks or
Yeah.
something like that terribly.
See how marketing works?
Yeah, I just never stopped to
Yeah.
think about that. So this is going to be quite a surprise maybe for some people, or maybe I'm like, I already knew that. Like, thank you so much. I already knew that.
I hope
But,
so. I hope they know that already.
All right. And then if you just want to set like the coffee right down
Yeah,
here
sure.
back, just so we can make sure we have everything good. But thank you so much for bringing this in. This is
Absolutely.
awesome. Can you share maybe some intimate memories that you have growing up, maybe with your family, sharing some moments with the coffee and how that played a big part in your life?
So, not just me, but as a culture, it's when we have people come over to visit, or when you're having my grandmother or my grandfather usually visit us when we are out of school. So every night you'll have, the coffee ceremony. It's like you have the mat out, a special mat for the coffee, and then there's a special plate for the coffees and the mugs. And it's just they'll have incense on, popcorns on, and it's just family all around. Incense is burning. You have popcorns and there's grass on the ground. It's just
That's
it's
beautiful.
community. It's you just sit, talk. It's warm. It's cozy. It's family. The kids are playing with amongst ourselves. The adults are talking. So when you think of coffee, you think of community, family.
Yeah.
That's part of what coffee means
We
to
need
us.
to get back to that as a society, because when I think of coffee, I think like, oh man, we're on the go, we're so busy. Like, it's not relaxing. It's like, okay, I need something to like, oh man, I'm stressed. I need coffee. I haven't slept.
I need to
It's
pick up.
just so
Exactly.
chaotic, but the
It's
way
different,
you
yeah.
describe, it's just so intimate and just so community based and beautiful. Like you just said, grass. Like,
Yeah, you will have grass, popcorn, incense, coffee. It's everything. And they roasted it right in front of you. So you will have neighbors coming in, and it's just people will gossip if they want.
Yeah.
Politics, everything under the sun will be discussed in that 2 hours, and then everybody goes about their business.
that is
And
so
that
cool.
happens like twice a day sometimes.
Oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
we're so chaotic and busy. It's like maybe some people do like get a coffee and read a book or something
Yeah.
relaxing, but
Yeah,
majority of the time I just
majority
think, like,
is it's
on the go, crazy.
But this it's so tiny cups that you do nothing but sit and talk and sip of your coffee.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
What have been some of the challenges for you starting your business, and how have you overcome them? For anybody who's maybe listening and wanting to hear some insight or tips.
For starting a business, this is my the third business that I've started. So I've started with with experience. So for when I started a new business, usually mentorship is what's missing. You can Google all you want, but one good mentor would kind of completely change everything, the trajectory of your business, right?
Mhm.
So the first time I didn't even know where you find mentor or if it's available, so you rely on Google. But as you go now that I know, you can tap into a local support system like Score. You will have a mentor with there's different mentors, different industries which is free. Those people volunteer their time, so you can. They have Score. We have even Fairfax County has their own community centers with mentors that could help you set up your paperworks, all that stuff. The difference now is we wanted to protect the name right from the get-go before it gets, we get more marketing and all that done.
Yeah.
So learned from the past, so we had our trademark together with all our paperworks filed, because we know trademark takes about 18 months. So we filed last year. So we just got the okay, and we'll get our trademark probably in the next few weeks.
Yay, congratulations.
So
with
mentorship
that.
matters, networking matters, and always have a plan, but be open to change, because you never know what happens.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's some good insight there.
Thank you.
Who are you outside of a person? And you're not thinking about coffee and running your business, what do you like to do and how do you set boundaries for yourself?
Well, setting boundaries it's a learning experience, right? I've, right before COVID, my sister and I went to Tony Robbins event. This was one of
Him,
those
yes.
three
Yeah.
3 day events, and on this, I think it was, is it on the first day or second day, you will have Tony Robbins from like, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning. All it's like 12 hours kind of thing.
Oh my.
That
a long
high, and
time.
it is a long time. But at the end of that, at midnight, they will have you go and, with consent, of course, walk on that charcoal, right? That hot,
Wait, barefoot?
barefoot.
Girl.
So, and it's like they're hyping you up when you're walking on that. They're like, don't look at the charcoal and the coal, just walk. You can do this, blah, blah, blah. And then we did walk. So, what I got from there is what you tell your mind, what you set your mind to, you can do it. Like, it's a hot charcoal. It was like bright red, and nothing happened to my feet.
Oh.
You didn't burn. I didn't burn or anything. And it's just like after that, I don't know, something clicked. I'm like, I just need to focus and see, do I really want this? If it is, just focus and do it. I'm not gonna walk on charcoal again, but
I was gonna ask you. I
no,
was like,
I'm not gonna do that again. But that kind of really changed some kind of mindset of, you have to do, if you like what you're doing, then you will find a way to do it.
yeah, absolutely.
And with, as opposed to boundaries, my mom always says, when you're with somebody and you're talking whatever, after you leave that person, you have to tune in and see how you feel. Do you feel drained? Do you feel energized? Do you feel nothing? If you feel drained, then that's your way of showing that it's not a good relationship or a good friendship or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to be aware of how you feel, your emotions, and then you set boundaries based on that.
Gotcha. What if you feel nothing? Is that good or bad?
Then it's fine.
Okay, good.
It's just as long as they don't drain you.
Okay, got it.
You know?
I'm just like, wait, I don't feel nothing sometimes.
Then it's fine. But if they drain you and you're just like, after you leave, you're just like,
Gotcha.
then why
Yeah.
give energy?
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. But what do you like to do? Like, how do you unwind? Do you like reading books? You go on motorcycles, walks on the beach? Tell me.
I do kickboxing.
Oh, okay.
I do kickboxing, and I do have I do it at home as well. I have my nephews. I have a 2-year-old nephew and an 11-year-old nephew. The 11-year-old obviously thinks he's old enough, so he doesn't hang out. But to the 2-year-old, is just, he's just one of the best thing that ever happened. So I do love spending time with my nephews and my sisters.
Okay.
And we go around, just restaurants and coffees, and we have my cousins too. So family is, I'd rather spend time with family.
Yeah.
That gives me energy.
Sweet. I never would have thought kickboxing because you look so sweet. And sweet people can do kickboxing too. But I'm like, I could beat her in a fight. No, I can't. Absolutely cannot. I'm going to lose. But yeah, I think these things in my head. I'm like, I could take her on.
I know.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Sorry. And if you could leave a message for our audience, what would that message be? Or if there's maybe like a mantra or a saying that you like to live your life by, share that with us.
Mantra that I like to live my life by. I think in business or in life, like I was telling you earlier, spend your time with people that mean something to you, that breathes life into you, because there are people that are energy vampires. There are people that just take. So just when you're spending time with even family or friends, just be with somebody that's breathing life into you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in business, that's my mantra.
Okay.
Be aware.
Gotcha. And my final question, just in case I didn't touch on anything and maybe there was an event or something that you wanted to share with people, Did I hit all the marks for you?
We did. One more thing that we do that's also connected to Afro Sheba is I do have started a nonprofit about 7 years ago. The nonprofit is for girls kindergarten age and up back in Ethiopia, and we support them with uniforms and school supplies, and hopefully we'll grow into school meals. It's been 7 years, so I've had kids that were in pre-KG and all the way to like 6th grade now. So we've started that right after a couple of years after undergrad. After I watched a documentary that's called Walk to Beautiful. It's about some, getting married early because of family and having children and having problems with that. And on that, they were following this 16-year-old that had this problem, and she was sitting on one of the stairs, and she's like kind of really deep thinking, and she said, I don't know what my life is. I don't want to go back to the husband. If I go back home, she didn't have a mother then. Her mother died. So she said, if I go back home, then my dad would send me back to the husband. She said, I can't commit suicide because that's a sin. And she said, I don't know what to do.
Oh, man.
And she's 16. At 16, you're worrying about prom, who likes you, and all that stuff. And that just stuck with me. And they follow her a few months after that, maybe 6-7 months after that. And somebody saw her story, and they took her in so she can go to school, continue her school. And she's working at an orphanage, I believe. And when they're interviewing her, she's like completely different, Now she has a different outlook in life. And she's like, I'm going to school. Once I'm done, I'm going to do this. She has this X, Y, and Z kind of plan.
She has that self-worth for herself, right?
So my take for that is, if we get two girls while they're still young from underserved community and get them education, then they decide their life.
Yeah.
So that's how Path for Her was born.
Okay, and it's called Path for Her.
Pathforher.org,
okay, yeah. No, that is incredible. That is such a great nonprofit that you decided to start, and the fact that you watched this documentary and it was so powerful and it just inspired you to do that is amazing. So thank you so much for being on the podcast and for sharing your awesome history with coffee and
Thank you
sharing
so much.
everything.
This was fun.
It was.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Absolutely.